In this video, I'm going to explore the pros and cons of sharing drum kits at gigs with other drummers and see if it's really worth it at the end. Hey there, my name is Nick. I play drums in a band called Vinyl Theater, and I've toured across the US and Canada for more than 6 years with bands like 21 Pilots, Dashboard Confessional, Mr. Wives, and many more. Today I want to talk about something that's been on my mind lately. Should we as drummers share our kits at gigs with other drummers? There are definitely going to be some pros and cons to consider before making a decision. So let's take a closer look. Our drums are sacred to us. Believe me, I get that. I hate the idea of someone playing on my drums. However, there will come a point in your drumming career, whether professional or hobby, that you'll need to share your drum kit or someone else's at a show. Sharing drum kits is insanely common, especially in the bar and club scene. If you're playing to audiences of 500 or less, you definitely need to be sharing a drum set with the other bands. Now, coming up, I'm going to talk about why we should be open to sharing our kits at gigs, and then I'm going to share a couple reasons why you should never share your drums. I'll give you a helpful list of questions you should also ask the other drummer before even arriving at the venue. So stay tuned for that, but first, like this video, hit the subscribe button so you never miss more drumming videos like this. So here's some common reasons why bands typically share their drum sets. The venue stage is tiny. Now, this may not be a popular opinion among drummers who have never toured or played out very much, but I promise that this is extremely common in small clubs and venues. If the venue is smart, they will inform, not request, that you share drum kits with the other bands on the bill. It's just how it goes. You can complain all you want, but this is the standard, at least when you're unsigned and playing for 10 people at the local dive bar. Most venue stages at bars and clubs are incredibly tiny. You're lucky if you can even get your drum set up on stage with room for the rest of the band to play in front of you. In fact, I've been in so many clubs where it made more sense for our band to set up in a line rather than with me in the back and everyone else up front. The ability to set up 3 drum sets and a whole slew of amps is literally impossible. 9 times out of 10, the sound engineer running the show will thank you in the event that they don't already force you. Number 2, striking drums takes way too long. Striking drums just means moving your kit off stage or backstage somewhere where people can't see it after you do your sound check. If the drummer is stubborn, the venue either calls the band off the bill or strikes the drum kit themselves, and the band has to reset it up before going on stage. Fast. But if you're opening up for a national act, don't expect them to strike their drum kit so you can play yours. You're playing on their kit. Don't try to move much around either. Number 3, the engineer doesn't want or has the ability to add more microphones. Many small bars and clubs are working with limited mixing boards. The ability to add more microphones probably isn't a thing. There's also the fact that the engineer won't want to add more simply due to the fact that you're another local act they've had to deal with this week. Number 4, the venue has a backline kit. When venues suggest the use of a backline kit, this is probably your worst case scenario. Backline kits at small bars and clubs are notoriously in bad shape. Luckily, I've only been forced to play on one time in my career with no rug. Imagine that. I was told by the venue that they had everything I'd need, just bring your cymbals. What a mistake that was. Now, whoa, hold on. I'm the headliner from a major national act. Why do I have to share my beautiful DW kit with the openers? Even if this is the case, you still may have to share your drum set with opening bands. If you refuse, you may be striking your kit after sound check and will be forced to set it up before you go on. I've done this on a few occasions. It's not fun, it's super stressful. I've learned to accept sharing my kit with opening acts when space is limited. In certain situations, when you are opening up for a national act, it's going to be expected that you share the headliner's kit. Regardless of your feelings or how big your set is, you'll need to do what the band says. You're lucky to even be on the gig in the first place. If you still manage to be stubborn, you'll be setting up on the floor in front of the stage, in the crowd. Drummers aren't the only ones who often share gear either. It's actually pretty common for bass players to share amps since they take up a lot of space on stage as well. Pro tip, bass players, get yourselves a Sans amp and call it a day. If you have an expensive drum kit, don't bring it on tour. Someone else who potentially has little regard for your drums most likely will be playing it. Take a trip down to your local music store and pick up a cheap used drum kit you can tour with. You should be okay with it getting beat up. You don't have to worry about other people playing on it either. Also, be kind to whoever you're sharing from. If you need to move a piece of hardware to more accommodate your playing style, always ask the drummer whose kit you're sharing with. There's nothing more infuriating than getting back to your kit and it's all messed up. Make sure you relax and don't get angry that you have to share. Remember that this is extremely common and the band will appreciate you working with them to make things go smoothly. You never know, you might get another show with them in the future, or maybe even a tour. Unless your band manages to blow up and immediately start doing arena tours, I promise you're gonna have to share drums, whether it be on a long tour or just one show. Let's talk about the times you should refuse to share your drum kit. If you're touring with a band and you're noticing that they're pounding the life out of your drums and become uncomfortable with it, it's perfectly normal to kick them off and make them use their own kit. Even if they have to set up in front of your set, it's better than your kit getting destroyed every night. There's nothing like using detuned heads after 2 other drummers have pounded on your kit. If you use an electronic drum kit or some sort of hybrid setup, you may not be able to share your drums with another band. Prior to touring with a band, get yourself familiar with each other and start a line of communication. It's always best to be open and honest in relationships up front so that problems don't arise later. Here are some things to ask if you're sharing another drummer's kit. Hey, are you comfortable sharing kits on the tour or show? Can I bring some drum heads for you? What kind do you like? What should I bring? Bass drum pedal, snare drum, cymbals, throne? Do you mind if I adjust your setup a bit? If you're sharing your kit, ask these questions. Hi, do you mind sharing the kit we'll provide on the road? Are you pretty particular with your setup? You're more than welcome to make adjustments to the hardware as long as it's back near where it was before. I'll be striking my cymbals and snare. Do you want to bring a kick pedal or use mine? Obviously you can expand on this, but you get the idea. Open communication makes these things much easier, and it will make the first night of a tour go off without a hitch if you do so. So have you ever shared a drum kit with another drummer at a gig? If so, did it go well? Leave a comment down below and let us know how it went. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more drumming content like this. I'll see you all in the next one.